Alright, so looking at Breach's abilities, well, first off, Breach's name is very fitting for this character, and all of his abilities will actually do damage or be effective through walls. So very, very great character for breaching certain areas and taking certain parts of the map. So working from left to right, his first ability Aftershock, it's 100 credits to purchase, C to use, equip a fusion charge. Fire the charge to set a slow acting burst through the wall. The burst does heavy damage to anyone caught in its area. So let me go ahead and hit C and see what it looks like here. And off the bat, we'll see this big yellow circle that'll switch from yellow to red. So yellow means yes, this ability will shoot through the wall. Red means the wall is either too thick or there's multiple walls in our area. So let me go ahead and click mouse 1 and we'll see what it looks like on the other side. It looks like what it would look like underneath a rocket when it's taking off. Go ahead and click it one more time so you can see it. And as you can see, there's a slight delay, and this fire burst shoots out on the other side of the wall. And the closer an enemy or a teammate is sitting next to this wall, the more damage it will do, and then the further away, less damage. One thing to note is that versus enemies, this is lethal damage. So if an enemy is sitting right next to the wall, they will die from it. Alright, so let me go ahead and cast this one more time. And if you look on the radar on the top left, you'll see this blue blocks. And that indicates where this will do damage through the wall. So I can actually get the lineup exactly the way I want it. So for example, here at C in this cubby, if I left click, this blue box actually covers this entire area. So this would be a great way to clean out this area, maybe flush out an enemy, or here if they take damage. So one way to use this ability defensively is, say if we're here in short C and we're defending this garage door, well, we could be spotting this angle perhaps like this, or maybe we know they're coming, or we can just back up, hit C and left click really quick. That's going to keep those enemies at bay. And if they do decide to push through, of course they're going to take damage. Another way you can use it here in C is, say we're defending the C site and they start planning behind this other side of this bomb box. Well, we can go ahead and hit C and we can line up where we hear that spike plant, and we can go ahead and just shoot through this box and it'll prevent them from planning. Another great example is, say we're spotting this way and we hear them rushing, go ahead and hit C, left click real quick, and it'll shoot all the way down this hallway. Alright, so taking a look at Breach's second ability, Flashpoint, 200 credits to purchase, Q to cast by default. Equip a blinding charge. Fire the charge to set a fast acting burst through the wall. The charge detonates to blind all players looking at it. So if I hit Q, same concept, there's going to be this little yellow circle that switches to red. So again, yellow means yes, it will shoot through the wall. Red means the wall's too thick or there's multiple walls. So let's go ahead and click mouse 1 and see what it looks like. And on the other side, you'll see this little yellow detonation that switches to a red animation. And we'll get a better look here. So let's go ahead and just look into this and see what it looks like. Mouse 1. And on the other side, it's like this little bursts that are actually flashbangs. So if you look directly at it, it will blind you for a good 2 to 3 seconds. And like all flashes in this game, you can mitigate it or reduce how long you are flashed or how effective it is by turning away. So if you're quick enough, if you're on the receiving side, if you see or hear Breach cast it, you can turn around and reduce some of that blindness. So you get 2 of these. If you look at the bottom of the abilities, you'll see that there's 2 boxes. So you can purchase 2 of these. And if we want to use this on defensive side, same concept where if we know the opponents are on the other side, we can go ahead and click and then peek with it. And you'll notice how fast that flash is. So it's very difficult for enemies to turn away from it. And you can also time it really well where you're swinging as soon as the flashes are popped. On offensive side, say we are breaching this garage area and we're advancing to C, and we know an enemy just backed up the window, well, we can go ahead and just throw a flash there. No, he can't peek because he's going to be blind, and then we can keep moving on. Or say if we're moving up along C here and my teammates are about to swing and peek behind that sight box, well, we can go ahead and throw some support flashes from all the way back here. So you'll notice that the distance is ridiculously long. And we'll go ahead and back up here a little bit, and we'll notice that it turns from yellow to red, and that means this is the max distance. So when I click mouse 1, nothing happens. If I take a few steps forward, yes, it'll work this far away. So I'll click mouse 1 and boom, those flashes are landing behind that side box, and my teammate can see that animation, hear it, and then swing with it, and then you guys done a really good job clearing the site. Taking a look at Breach's third ability, Fault Line, E to cast by default, equip a seismic blast, hold fire to increase the distance, release to set off the quake, dazing all players in its zone and in a line up to the zone. So when I click E, it's going to bring up these little yellow lines that are indicating a lane. So if I hold down mouse 1, you'll see the charge bar on the bottom charge up. So let's go ahead and charge maximum, and we'll see the yellow lines speed up a little bit. So when I let go of mouse 1, it's going to shoot this little lane that earthquakes the ground. And what happens is any enemies or even teammates that are standing in that lane will get knocked up a little bit and dazed. And they'll be in like a little state of concussion, and their ammo or their bullets will shoot slower. They'll be a little bit slower to move. It'll decrease their movement speed, and it just dizzies them, and it makes it difficult for them to fight. So this is a great ability to use to support your teammates to clear certain spots before peeking it. And if you take a look at the radar, if I hold mouse 1, you'll see that blue bar charge up, and that is the effective lane or distance that this ability will work. So we can actually clear out the entire left side here of C as our teammates are advancing, or if we want to advance. So let's say we're about to hit long C here. Go ahead and let go of mouse 1, and as I let go, I can scale with this ability and peek these angles and get some opponents that are dazed if they're on that left side. And then also you'll notice on the bottom a countdown next to my E ability. You'll see that countdown. This is Breach's signature ability. So if I use it early on in the round, I can use it multiple times because there is a cooldown. Similar to Breach's other abilities, on defensive side, you can cast it through the wall. So this particular ability, since it has such a long range, it's perfect for long C here to daze and stun opponents that are advancing down this hallway. So if you look at the radar up top, you'll see that this blue lane actually also covers this whole lane here. So say if we spot some enemies or hear some action, they're starting to throw some smokes, we can go ahead and charge this up through the lane, let go, and then as soon as it blows up, we can peek with it and take some enemies out. So let's take a look at Breach's ultimate, Rolling Thunder. Z to cast by default, equip a seismic charge, fire to send a cascading quake through all terrain in a large cone. The quake dazes and knocks up anyone caught in it. So Breach's ultimate works very similar to Fault Line. And we'll go ahead and click Z here to see what it looks like. And if you take a look at the radar, you'll notice that big red cone, and that indicates the effective area of this ultimate. So let's go ahead and fire off the ultimate and see what it looks like. I'm going to click mouse 1, and we'll notice that rocks are flying up from underneath the ground, creating an earthquake. And any enemy opponents that are sitting in that pathway are going to get knocked up into the air about a good character unit. It's going to stun them and daze them, kind of dizzy their crosshair. The firing rate on their weapons will be shooting a lot slower, and their movement speed is severely decreased. So this is a great way, again, Breach. You're able to breach and attack and defend a lot of areas as you're advancing. So you'll see that cone up here. Say we're going to hit the C site. Well, we can actually clear most of the left side or the sight box, or say we just want to dedicate towards this area, and we'll use some other abilities to take care of the left. So I'll left click here, and then I'm going to combo a flashbang to the left corner, and then I'm going to advance. So left click, Q for flash this left corner, clear this, and I know all this area is going to be stunned and dazed. And now pretty much the only area that I haven't taken care of is back here. So great abilities for Breach. You can support your players that are advancing forward. Maybe you have a jet that can dash forward, and you can support her and throw some flashes for her. So you can get very crafty with this character, especially once you start learning where all those lineups are through the walls with his abilities.